So we can quickly do this. We've done this before. I know we like to do it with Levi Stevenson every year, but let's run through position by position and
Okay.
let's just see. We can tally this up, I guess. Let's start with quarterback. I think you and I would both take Will Howard over
Yes.
Ohio State, right? So I'll just make a little tally here off to the side. So we're both taking Will Howard. Running back,
Ohio State.
but Iowa does have the
Oh,
second leading
he's
rusher in the
they have
country.
one excellent running back
Well,
and a really good running back room.
yeah, they have a really, but you're giving Ohio State the edge.
Oh, I think they have the best two
You think
backs
they have the best two backs in the country?
together. I'm not saying they're the two best backs,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yes.
I'll give you. Yeah. Uh, some Iowa fans will just get real mad at that, Mark, because they love them some Caleb Johnson. That's fine. Tight ends, I take Iowa. Is that fair? Come on now. Come on now.
I don't
I don't know
know.
anything about Ohio State's tight ends, but
Well, they got three of them that are really good. They're going to be pros,
yeah.
but Iowa's
Well,
going to use their
Iowa
tight
has
ends. Those guys
yeah
aren't
Iowa has
needed.
Iowa has
They
pros on its in its tight ends room every year.
they might. So does Ohio State. Ohio State has gone almost 30 years without producing an NFL tight end.
They've gone almost 30 years
They've
without
they
producing
I'm
one.
sorry, they've gone. Uh, One of our Ohio State guys, Tony Gerdeman, gave me this stat. It's been since 1996 since an Ohio State starting tight end did not play in the NFL.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
I'm
anyway, they're obviously not. We're not talking about history, where Iowa, of course, is the best at the tight end room. But I'll go Iowa.
okay. And then how about offensive line versus Ohio State's offensive line? Got to go Iowa's, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So we go Iowa's offensive line, Ohio State's defensive line versus Iowa's defensive line.
Ohio State. We
Okay.
miss wide receiver, right?
We'll get there. Calm
Oh,
down.
okay.
Uh, I know you're
Well,
excited
you
to say
went to the
Ohio
other side
State.
of the ball. Is the only reason I
I'm just
stopped
going
you.
randomly.
Oh, okay.
Linebacker.
Iowa.
Okay. So actually, as of right now, we're 3-3. if we, but then we'll go to the what did I miss?
Secondary
Receiver. Yeah, let's go to
and
receiver
receiver.
first, and then we'll go back to set. So secondary, or excuse me, receiver, obviously Ohio State, and then secondary probably Ohio State. Right.
Yes, Iowa's very capable, but yes, I'm going to go
If
Ohio
we want to
State.
separate safeties versus corners, I'm guessing I'd give it to Ohio State in both categories.
Yes.
So 5-3. That doesn't mean that that's going to be the margin, like, times that by 8 or
No.
whatever. But,
No.
I think there are, as we mentioned earlier, Pat brought it up. There are players on the Iowa team that are motivated for this game because they have strong ties to the state of Ohio. This is their one chance to go home and get a win. You got Luke Lachey. This is his last game against his dad's team, and he's going to be right there in Columbus as his dad calls the game from the press box. That's an intriguing storyline. And Luke Lachey's been pretty quiet this year, Mark. It's a new offense, but I just feel like tight end involvement has been pretty quiet. And honestly, Don Patterson brought it up last night. I'd be curious to go back and look at targets. Addison Estrenga may be getting as many targets right now as Luke Lachey is. And Hayden Large has had some targets. I wouldn't be surprised to see Zach Ortworth get some run Saturday. And he's a guy, you talk about man burners. If there's any tight end on this roster who's proven the ability to get loose down the field, go back to Wisconsin on the road last year. It was Zach Ortworth playing as a true freshman who got loose for a big gain for a super explosive play. They've got to figure out some way to get the ball downfield. And as Coach Patterson's brought out, it doesn't always mean throwing the ball over the top. But perfect example, first play from scrimmage in the second half for Iowa. They go first down, naked right, and they send the tight end from the opposite side of the formation across the formation, and simple little pass, and Addison Estrenga leaks for like 25, 30 yards. I don't know that it'll be that simple, but good game planning can be very powerful regardless of talent level. And I think, that's one of those things. If they can hit on a play, I would think early, not, I don't know that they're going to be able to be in a position third quarter to save those. I think if they have a play or two, they may have to hit one of those early. I just think that if you can figure out a way like they did 2 years ago, they got a great play out of Joe Evans. Maybe the best play, I'd say that was the best play of the 2022 season. Remember the play? Joe Evans busts through the
Sure.
offensive line, hits CJ Stroud, forces a fumble, and then just picks the ball up and runs into the end zone. A great
Yeah.
athletic play for a former
Sure.
quarterback out of Ames High,
Yeah.
and it didn't matter because they had no offense to
Yes,
do
he was the
anything.
offense.
That was an incredible play, frankly. Um, but all those things, I mean, we ran through a lot. Is there anything that we missed, Mark, or that Pat missed that you think is a major storyline heading into this game?
Just came to me. I don't know that anyone's talking about this. Um, it's a great Iowa defense. It's led by arguably the best in the game, Phil Parker. What is different about the Ohio State offense? They gave Chip Kelly a ton of money. He may be the highest paid assistant coach in college football. I know he's like in the top 5. They did that for a reason. All these other really good Ohio State teams that have been going to national championship games and all this other business have been led on offense by a head coach who's been play calling at the same time as being the head coach. And I think he has slowly determined that that wasn't the best route and maybe got a nudge or two. So they go out and get a guy that's supposed to be one of the best in the game, has been in the past, in Chip Kelly, for matchups like this. So Ryan Day is not diverted by 2 years ago planning against the Phil Parker defense by himself, not by himself, but he is the guy as the head coach slash offensive coordinator. Now, Chip Kelly has been probably scratching his head and staying up all night trying to figure out this Iowa defense, but at least he's been the one focused on that solely. And knowing Chip Kelly and knowing Ohio State's preparation and their talent gap over all these other teams, they've probably been talking and looking at Iowa, shoot, all off season. So that is one place where I'm not saying that Ohio State's better than they've been in the past, but certainly they shelled out the money and changed responsibilities to be better for as prolific as they've been throwing the football and scoring points to be even better offensively.